Before I go and button the chair all up, as we are now nearing the final completion of it, I thought I would go over quickly the electronics, the brains of the chair. I'll start in the back here. I have a power supply, computer power supply, that provides for me 5 volts, 12 volts, and 22 volts. And that all comes out here and goes to the respected terminals. So I have 5 volts on both sides here, and I have 12 and 22 volts here. 22 volts power these LRDL audio devices, and the 5 volt and 12 volt powers the other different electronics that are on both sides here that I'll go over very quickly. I'll start with these two here. These are actually converters for the rocker switches that are up here, so that when these are turned on and off, they create a momentary, rather than a latch, to these here, which are the Adafruit, the sound effects cards. All the audio sound effects are on these 4 little cards here. These over here are the LED flashing circuits, and those work this one up here on the left side, and on the other side here I have these that run the ones on the right hand panel here, so I can turn these on and turn these off, and they're all controlled by those. I have the controls on the other side here for the right hand side, the comms, the data log, and of course the right hand panel devices as well. And and this one here is the trigger. It's a remote trigger for the comms, so that if Scotty is calling you remotely, this will trigger. And that's basically it. The next thing will be to go over the sound effects. Before I go and finish mounting all of this up, I did want to go over the sound effects. So I've temporarily hooked up the speaker here before I hook that up outside in the garage. It's just too heavy to pull this thing out of here, so I figured to do it out in the garage. But anyway, as I've talked before about the sound effects cards here and the different electronics that control it all, I thought I would start over here with the different sound effects that are on here, and of course over here. We'll save the best for last. Over here we have a combination of photon torpedoes, turn that up a little bit. You have to reset these each time. This is the phasers. Okay.
Library computer, data being received. Destruct sequence completed and engaged. Computed, dear. Inaccurate, data in error.
Okay, cool. There's the lights doing their thing. And I come over here. The yellow alert flashes but makes no sound, as it shouldn't. It didn't on the original show. But when you press the red alert, it turns off the yellow alert. I know that looks yellow on here, but trust me, it's red. And then you have the pod jettison, and guess what? You actually have a jettison. When you turn the jettison off, it goes back to red alert. I'm going to pause here for a second. Okay, we're back. It's going to show the data card. Remember these from a previous? These have the little magnets embedded in them, so that when you Oh, better turn the yellow alert off. Forgot I still had that on. When you put these in, makes the sound. It's hard to see, but this lit up. And so now when I push the log button.
Captain's log, stardate 4308.8. It is now 10 minutes since we entered the zone of darkness. We have stopped engines while we seek a defense against the energy drain which seems to pervade the zone.
Okay, that's one, and I can pause it, and then I call up another log.
Captain's log, stardate 4843.6. First Officer Spock commanding. We've been en route to the asteroid for several hours. Our delay on the planet's surface has made it imperative that we proceed at max.
Just turn it down a little bit.
That's fantastic. So if we kept them all like this, people would just go,
Library computer, data being received.
See, that's set and reset. Or reset and
yeah. Man.
Second one. Originally I had just one per, but then when I screwed up the other two cards, I put the Magnuson backwards.
Yeah.
So I just left the two on each of them. So.
Captain's log, stardate 4202.1. Exceptionally heavy subspace interference still prevents our contacting Starfleet to inform
It sure
them of the
is.
destroyed solar systems we have encountered. We are now entering system L374. Science Officer Masada reports the fourth planet seems to be breaking up. We are going to investigate.
And then it fails, see? I gave an extra long blast.
Yeah, it still blinks though. And it goes back to red alert.
And then it goes back to red alert.
Wow.
Now if you're in yellow alert and you go to red alert, it will turn it off.
Shucks. Look at that. Oh, that's what does from over there. Okay.
Yeah. Or they can just stand over here. It depends on who's sitting there.
Yeah.
So they can just, hit the button.
Start the bridge.
So that flashes.
Start the bridge.
And he'll just sit and wait until you answer. So you gotta hit the button. And that comes on and goes, Kirk here, go ahead, Scotty.
Progress report, sir. Everything's jury-rigged, but we're coming along with our repairs. We should be able to re-energize in about 4 hours, but,
What?
well, sir, as I say, the engines are being repaired, but we've no place to go in this time. If you see what I mean.
Yes, unfortunately, I think I do. Thank you, Scotty.
So is it timed or does it actually hear a voice? And
No, it's timed.
Is it?
Scott here. I've hooked in ship's communication. The best I can give you on impulse is 1/3 power. The shields are up, but they won't last long.
Oh, so this will be-
Yeah. Yeah.
So that blinks when he's calling.
When he's calling you, yeah.
That's amazing.
Because now in the original show, these never actually came on.
Right.
But I saw in one episode of Star Trek Continues where it was a close-up shot, and I could see when he hit this button, this light came on, which is the way it was, if you remember, through the whole ship. The light was always here. There wasn't a switch, and you'd actually see him, you know, the little
Oh, yeah, click, click, it's one of these, yeah.
and then that would come on, and he was done, click, click, and the light would go off.
Right.
So it's the same idea, only this time. But every time you hit that,
Sir, if I push these impulse engines too hard in the condition they're in, they'll blow apart.
That's amazing. All right.
and if you just turn the power off, turn it back on, it resets it, and then it's fine.
Yeah,
I just don't know when it will fail
yeah.
at this point. And because it failed on me 3 times yesterday, I
Beginning of November.
Primary computer, data being received.
had to make them all.
Sequence completed.
Everything. It took me over a month. They're actually considered an aviation switch.
Really?
They used like in small aircraft.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I mean I can turn it out.
That's all right.
Inaccurate. Data in error. Inaccurate. Data.
I did that too, just now.
You didn't use the cards. Let's go get the cards. They are so awesome. It's so cool.
It goes in. If you put it in backwards, it goes in this way. If you put it in backwards, it'll let you know that you put it in backwards.
Okay.
But if you put it in slowly. It didn't
Too
go.
fast?
Now there we go.
It's gonna do some-
Then you hit the log button.
Captain's log, stardate 4843.6. First
That is
officer
so
Spock
awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
been en route to the asteroid for several hours.
It's
Our delay on
fantastic.
the planet's surface has made it imperative that we proceed at maximum warp speed for a period which exceeds the recommended safety margin.
Leonard Nimoy.
And then you can hit it a
Hit the
second
log
time.
again.
Turn it off. Then hit it again. And there's 2 on those.
Captain's log, stardate 4308.8. It is now 10 minutes since we entered the zone of darkness.
I had
We have
conversations with the
stopped
sheriff.
engines while we seek a defense
I did. It
against
was
the energy
awesome.
drain which seems to pervade the zone.
That is
Turn it off. And you just pull it out.
Try the red.
And it goes this way, right?
Yes.
Captain's log supplemental. The Enterprise spiraling down out of control. Ship's outer skin heating rapidly due to friction with planet atmosphere.
That's it?
I mean, it
You
was
did
like,
an amazing job.
Or you
just
can both
be
be
on
on
the
this,
show.
and I can take both of you at the same time, Jill. Each of
Really
you.
nice. It's really nice.
Oh, well, one of you could stand next to the other. You know, right?
when I rebuilt it, I made sure that now it's got, enough. It's actually got grease in it, and it actually.
There's like, how many circuit boards do you have under the chair?
Oh, it's him.
Oh,
Yes.
you gotta, because he, what was it, 3 months, 4 months?
Look up here. All right,
Data in error.
look back here. Look up here.
Thank you.
Make sure you like those first, okay?